The world as we know it has changed forever. We have to unite more than ever. It has never been easier to connect. Social media is the great equalizer. As we continue to learn from each other, it allows us to challenge our beliefs, turn our fears into action. How far can we go? It's up to us. We have to conquer our fears, crush mediocrity, stay motivated, dream big. If your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. In the think tank, we will never settle for anything less than an extraordinary life. Mary, welcome to the think tank.
Thank you, Martin.
It's such a pleasure. I've known about you for so many years as a boy growing up. I left St. Lucia when I was 18. I used to come home every Christmas and I would see you on the weather, talking about the upper level troughs. So I know you probably didn't know who I was, but you met my sister and she made the introduction, and I'm so happy to have you in the think tank today, where I interview ordinary people. All of us are ordinary, but we all live in extraordinary lives, and especially in times like now.
Yep.
So welcome again to the think tank. And let me just tell a little bit about you, and then I'll let you expand on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Number one, I think you're an advocate for change. You made that very clear. You're an advocate for change. You worked with the government of St. Lucia for quite a long time. You paid your dues. You left. You went into farming for a couple of years. And I was you didn't tell me. Like, you're an advisor right now for Surgical Life, which is your. And most of all, you're a presenter on Choice TV for Dimwe. Now, I know I can speak my patois still, okay? I can talk it fluently, but I understand it. So I'm going to go back and look at some of your episodes and really learn from them. Because I always, when I was growing up, our parents, I don't know if your parents, my parents didn't want to speak patois. They figured it was a country language. But you know what? I always was intrigued by learn another language because I can speak French. I learned French in school. I don't speak it every day. But just the fact that I know patois, Creole, I can go to France right now, anywhere in the world who speaks French, Cameroon, and I can speak it with my patois. Is that an asset?
It is. I can tell you that as a young woman, I would frequently go to Martinique, and I would speak French, not Creole. I would speak French, and the French people there were always very amazed and asked me, where did you learn French? And I said, I learned French in school. So I was very proud of myself, not speaking Creole, and I'm very good at it, but I was able to speak French. I am a bit of a linguist as well, because I do speak a bit of Spanish.
Okay.
I think if I had pursued my studies in languages that I would have done well.
Right.
I visited Venezuela very often, and I also spoke Spanish. And I'm a master Creole speaker.
Oh.
And I dabble in the English language as well.
Wonderful, man. I just love talking to people like you, people like you who, like I said, who are ordinary people but living extraordinary lives. We have one life. We come here once, but you know what? You make the best of it. When I tell people that I, Martin, have never had a job, that tells you about my mindset. Right away, you think this guy, he thinks he's all that. Yeah, I'm all that.
Of course, you're all that.
All that. Whether you call me or confident, I am all that. I've never had a job. I'm never gonna have a job. Because I am a creator. I'm a life creator. I create my own life. Nobody tells me. Like, I work till 4 o'clock in the morning. You can see my emails. I send stuff at 3 o'clock. People say, man, you still. I have to force myself to go to bed. Last week, I sleep late. I get up till 10, 11, 12, 1, whenever I feel like it, because I work for myself. But I put in the work, Mary. I put in the work. I know you do too, based on
Well, you see, this is probably an area that we have to stress on, because a lot of young people think that when they work for themselves, that they can be as flexible as they feel like. But when you work for yourself, you can decide what hours you work, but you have to put in the effort if you want outcome.
You put in the work. I do.
Yes.
I'm up. I got up about 12 today. Call Deanne. I had to talk to her about something. I'll be up now till 4 in the morning. I'll take a break. I'm into nature. I'm into grounding. I walk barefoot on the grass. I'm a health fanatic. I'm training again to get into the World Masters track and field meets next year. I was ranked in the top 10 in the world about 2 years ago, 2 years ago, but I stopped training. But now I'm back because I want to be 120. How about that? Can't do it. With technology now and the way the world with artificial intelligence, it's possible.
It is possible. Your mindset.
One, you stay exercising. I don't just walk, I work out now. I do 60, 100 push-ups every day. I do things that take my body to another level. I eat well. I know what to eat. I eat berries. I eat fruits. I'm not a diet. I'm not a vegetarian, sorry, but I eat paleo. I love chicken solutions. I always love chicken, But anyway, we just wanted to have a little chit chat, but it's not about me. It's about you.
Yeah.
So tell me, let's start with Choice TV. How does Choice TV start?
Well, I have worked in media for a long time. I was the managing director of Radio St. Lucia. I was the first woman managing director of Radio St. Lucia. And I worked before that with HTS, Helen Television System. That was my first media job as the weather presenter.
That's why I met you. You didn't even know.
Yes. So I did that for many years, 1995 to 2004. I presented the weather every evening, and that's how I became very well known in St. Lucia as the weather lady. And I had all my pseudonyms like the upper level trough and so on, whatever you all would call me.
My buddy today in St. Lucia, he said, that's the trough lady. That's so funny.
So, people use weather terms to refer to me, upper level trough and whatever. And I just had to accept. But I became a household name at that time. And just about that time, you know what happened to me? I contested an election.
Wow.
That was in the year 2000 on the UWP ticket. I contested the national elections. I did not succeed, but prior to that, I was a senator for about a year and a half. I served in the upper house. So I've done my political thing, just a little bit. In 2006, when Sir John came back from retirement, I became very instrumental in his campaign. I formed the women's arm. It was called Women in Action. I became the president of the women's arm. And I can tell you that we played a very pivotal role in the United Workers' Party winning that election, because whilst they were still trying to pick up momentum and put themselves together, the women's arm was having monthly meetings in all the constituencies. And you won't believe it, Martin, but many of the candidates, or even those that were not endorsed yet, they would use our forum to come and speak to people, and we would give them the platform. So they used the women's arm as the vehicle to promote themselves and the party. And eventually, we won the elections. When people were in doubt, saying they call Sir John a toothless tiger and all of that, I remember being interviewed, not interviewed, but I was asked by a very prominent talk show host. He said, Mary, you really believe John Compton could win an election? And I said, yes, he can, And I remember when Sir John was about to do his first interview with that talk show host, I took him to a friend of mine, he cut his hair, put on his makeup, and fix him for the TV. And that night, everybody knew that Sir John was ready for election. So the women at the time played a very pivotal role in getting UWP elected that election year.
Women people don't realize how, for case in point, in the US elections, women, Black women, I think over the top, I mean, there's a campaign by the governor, she ran for governor in Georgia, and she had a great campaign. Educate people about, because most of the time people, my vote doesn't matter, one doesn't count. Yes, it does.
It does.
Because
every vote counts.
One counts, and then that's what they realize. She educated people, and they came out in masses. And our vice president right now, she went to HBCU college, and all the girls, man, all the fat girls around the country came out and voted for her and voted for them in droves. So women play a pivotal role.
Of course, they do.
You know,
and I believe they have the skill to, cause people to galvanize the support on the ground. And, whereas the men will be on the platform and so on, but the women are the ones who are on the ground, and they do phenomenal work on the ground. Oh, yeah. And credit must be given to them every time.
Gotta give credit, man. I mean, and even, it's Joe Biden said it, Kamala Harris said it, man. She just cannot. I mean, the women were so excited going to vote for a woman vice president, first in history, and being black and back in history. It's just phenomenal. It's like Barack Obama all over again,
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yep. Women. So, I'm still active in politics. I mean, I'm not interested anymore in elective politics. Right. And that is why I have lent my voice to that program called Dis-moi. Dis-moi means just tell me, And I had been thinking about having a Creole program for a very long time, because there are a lot of issues on the table. There are a lot of issues on the table that we have a number of English-speaking programs, and they are all good, most of them. And a lot of information is being disseminated during those programs. But we have a Creole base. We have a lot of people in St. Lucia who speak Creole only, or if they speak English, the English is like informal English, but if you were to hold a deep conversation with them about issues and so on, they would better understand you if you speak Creole to them. So this was my reason for starting that program. I had it on my back burner for a very long time, and finally, sometime in July of this year, I just took the bull by the horns and said, I'm starting. And like you said, sometimes we overplan things. We plan, and we can't get to the implementation stage because we are always planning. So I just decided to go to the TV station and say, hey, I need time and so on. And I was granted the time and I took off with it. I had been thinking about it, but there was not much planning per se. I just asked a friend, let's go on the program with me, and I know she's very vociferous and she's a fearless woman. So we just hit the ground running, and many times, Martin, I would be on the program all alone, and sometimes when I leave home, I say, okay, I have 90 minutes to talk. I don't know myself as a talking head so much. So I said, you think I can manage talking for 90 minutes? And then, something, the time comes up and I am not even done yet with the information that I had prepared. And you won't believe that most of my information is internalized. It's not like I'm reading from any prompter or anything of that sort. I may have my notes, but all the issues pertaining to St. Lucia, I am very familiar with. I am very familiar with them. When I go, I give the figures and you will hear me rattling out the figures. That's information that I have internalized. That's information that I believe in. That is information that is credible. And I am not coming on my program to play politics, but to inform people, to empower them so that they can make very good decisions.
That is wonderful, man. That is wonderful. Same with me, people say, oh, do you have a script? I said, no. What I do, I put bullet points. I put 10 bullet points, and like I say, we flow. I just flow.
Yeah.
Yes. My nephew, Kevin, I don't know if you know Kevin. My sister, Olive, her son became a pilot several years ago.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that on Facebook.
He's like my other son, the son I never had.
Yeah.
But so he's an amazing kid. I had him in the think tank, and I didn't even know the things that he went through, the hardship. Yeah. But he always, I always talked. And when he was in Houston, and when he was in Houston, he would go to a little bad patch here, and he called me Uncle. Man, so I sent him a little $50 or $100, and he got used to it. McDonald's has these dollar burgers. He was laughing about it. He said, man, those dollar burgers did me well. But these are the things that we never hear.
That is right. That is right, Martin. Because you know, when people sometimes see you at the top or they see you on television and so on, they do not know of the hardship that you have gone through to find yourself where you are. And I always believe when we share these experiences with, especially the younger generation, that they understand that those people who have gone before them didn't have everything laid out for them, that they too struggle, and it's okay to struggle, but you must be determined and know what your goals are and how you will get there.
Yeah, but he was homeless for like 2 weeks. He didn't, I could have helped him. His mother could, but no, he said, no, he told me, Uncle, I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I will, because I can come back to my mother's house easy. No problem. Come with me. No problem. You got your uncle, your mother. You know. But she said, I had to figure it out. So he slept in his car. He had a 98 Toyota Corolla. And never forget, he left it, he had that. He started as a mechanic, an auto mechanic in St. Louis. Went to Sir Arthur Lewis. Okay. Yeah. Sir Arthur Lewis up there. He went to Corinth Secondary. In fact, he went over there and talked exactly. But his story is just so compelling, you know, and he was just driving aimlessly, but the belief, man, I don't care what God you believe in, whether you believe in Jah, Allah, Yahweh, Muhammad, there is that power. And once you determine to make it, he'll help you. You know? He was driving through a dirt road just aimlessly. You can see Houston leaving the shadows behind him. I gotta figure this out. And of course, dirt road, a small airport. He drove in there and he humbled himself. He started washing planes. I mean, they saw his determination. That was his break right there. Yeah. From there, this guy, he became a captain. No, he's just a pilot. He's a commander.
He's a captain. Yes.
Captain Kevin Spencer. That boy, man, not even 40 yet. You know, just 40. He is my greatest inspiration. He's an inspiration to me and to all the young kids. And he tries to, and what I love about him, he wants to give back. He goes to schools and churches just to tell the kids, especially Black kids, it's possible. It's possible.
It's possible. I know it is, you know.
I've been ups and downs in my life, but you know what? I will live my life all over the same way with learning better, making better choices. I believe so fervently in my heart that anything that I desire, I can do. And I have. I proved it to myself, you know? Yeah. So anyway, but I like to digress sometimes. And
that's okay.
I'm so proud of Kevin. I'm proud of me. Kevin, you know, my other brother's a pilot. My younger brother's a pilot. So we are all achievers, man. We're from an island, an opportunity. You know, sometimes I meet Americans, not now, later when I was in the field a lot, and they say, why all you guys have, like obviously Jamaicans have 5 jobs. You know, we all have 5 jobs. But when you have opportunity, Mary, you cannot let it go. If I stayed home, I wouldn't have home. I love my little island, but the opportunity in the US. You have to have opportunity wherever you are. If you're home, you see the opportunity, you make it. It's like you made it at home, but you made it. They took the opportunities and you're still pushing it, you know?
Yep. Still pushing.
Still, I know. That ain't gonna give up.
No.
You could be 120 at 99, I'm still gonna be pushing.
Yeah, you'll still be pushing. That's the way you're living.
I'm telling you, my dad is 90, he stays with my sister. Bless his heart, he's gonna be 90 in January. And he's an inspiration for me too. My dad, if you remember my dad, if you remember, he was hospital administrator.
Of course, that was my buddy.
Man, my dad.
Your dad was my buddy. It's just that he's not here anymore. We were very well acquainted.
Good. He's a good.
Because I went to school with Deanne. We were in the same stream.
Right, wonderful. That's good. Wonderful. Yep. But we have a good history. I didn't know you personally, but now I know you. Now I know you now. Okay, good. So in your advocacy for change, what are you trying to accomplish in your advocacy for change?
Well, as I said, Martin, I want to disseminate information that will empower people, to cause them to make good decisions. You know, it's not like I'm coming to tell you what to do. I want to give you the information so that you can become empowered to make the decisions that will benefit you. What I have found in St. Lucia, and when I say advocate for change, in the political sphere, because what we find is that people tell you they are born this and born that, and they're not willing to change, no matter where the country is going. no matter how much they are disadvantaged by the policies of government.
Mm-hmm.
But their parents supported this party, and for that reason, they want to support the party for the rest of their lives. And that is my reason for coming out and giving as much information as possible, so these people can realize that it's about them and not about the politicians. You know, politicians will come to you when they need you. When they don't need you, they abandon you until the next cycle when they need your vote again. But between those two periods that they come to you, you have to monitor the way they manage the affairs of the country, and if they're working in the best interest of the people of the country. And that includes each and every one of us. You know, it cannot be for some people who are close to politicians get all the benefit and the rest of us are left to languish. Mm-hmm. So that is my reason for having that program. It is just for the dissemination of information, to simplify the information and to put it in language that people can understand. And it's for the empowerment in their decision making.
I remember when I was home, because I left home in 71. And from 71 to probably, I was at the University of Nevada for 6 years. I got my master's degree, then I relocated. I'm trying to figure the years, 71 to probably 78, I was in school. Then subsequent to that, I came home. I probably came home like 10 or 12 times, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. For Christmas, and I lost my mother in 2000. I was actually, I relocated to St. Lucia in 1994 for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was home for 6 years. And then again, because I was single, I was bored being in America. They had 3 recessions in America, 1982, in 1995, and again in 2008. So I've been to all 3 recessions, all 3 cycles of upheaval in the financial industry. And me being heavily invested in real estate in the last 30 years, I've seen the highs and the lows.
Lows, yeah.
2008, when the market crashed, I lost everything that I had. Then, in fact, one of my speeches that I gave, being a Toastmaster, one of the speeches that I gave at the I was in the semifinals of the World Championship of Public Speaking, our local chapters. And the speech that I gave is called, "Have you lost everything in your life? Have you ever lost everything in your life? Not once or twice." People just froze because nobody has. I have. I started about my story. I lost my first house in the fire. Then I lost everything in 2000. So, you know, I have compelling stories of survival, of making it back from the ashes.
Yes.
You say, I didn't come this far to come this far. No. No.
Yeah. So, and giving up is not an option for you.
No option. No. There's no buts. I'll tell you about the industry that I am exploring right now in my life. It's far from, I was in construction. I still have my construction company. We were building houses, buying houses, fixing them up, consulting, speaking. I moved into speaking 2 years ago. I joined Toastmasters. I became the best Toastmaster in my group, which is the DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, which only like 2% of people in the world acquire that. It's like a PhD. I'm a high achiever because I achieve not for you, not for my wife, for my family, for me.
Yeah.
That's what we do. You achieve for yourself first. For
yourself. Right. Well, I have just been introduced to Toastmasters by your sister, Deanne. Okay, so I'm following your footsteps, Martin.
It's a great organization. I can vouch for it. It's the cost to join. The cost to join Toastmasters and to maintain is minuscule in comparison to
the value. Yeah.
Brian, Tracy, and all these guys that won 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 for.
Yep.
In the States, Toastmasters cost me $50 every 6 months. Come on, you know, it's maybe $120 in the US money, in the EC money. So
it's
not a big cost for what you get, the value, you know?
Yeah, yep.
And you get people of like mind, people who want to do themselves. So I became area director, regional director. So Toastmasters, so now I mentor people. I have a friend of mine who's a doctor, a dentist. He goes to conferences and he's petrified of speaking. I'm coaching him. I'm coaching a lot of other people. But that's what I do. You get and then you give back. You pull back up. You pull somebody up with you, you know?
Of course.
I'm not the best, you know?
They say when you bring value to the marketplace, value comes to you.
It goes just unmitigated. You cannot say no, you know? So again, I have to digress. It's not about me.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
value because by me speaking about what I've done sometimes, it gives value to people who listen and realize that this guy never had a job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Yep.
I've done golf courses. I've done everything I can, but I'm not there
Mm-hmm.
anymore because that's not me anymore. But I
Mm-hmm.
do anything that I put my mind. It may not happen overnight, but that stick to itiveness,
Yeah.
that attitude of, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out. That's my favorite thing. I figure things out here. And all
And
you know,
I can tell you, if I were to live my life all over again, I would never be employed by anyone just like you. I find it's just the best way to go,
because you know
you
what,
know?
I have met precipices in my life, and I say, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
I'm down, baby. I can't go no further. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. So I get up. I figure it out. I put my mind to me. I've been into meditation for 30 years. I meditate a lot. I believe
Yeah.
consciousness of life in me, in the human spirit, in you, my sister, people that I give back. I share. I pull
Mm-hmm.
people up. And you know what? There's so many people have helped me in my life. It's unimaginable to think. The people that help me because I give. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So what else again can we talk about? What else you want the world to know about you?
Well, I work with insurance and I want to speak to that. Honestly, the value of life insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, because I only got into insurance 5 years ago. And honestly, I wish I had gotten into it when I was younger, because I believe it can bring a lot of value, not just to people personally, but an entire economy. Think about it that if we were to have a disaster and we had no insurance, how much time it would take for the country to get back on its feet. If every house devastated by a hurricane, and we're in the hurricane belt, had to be rebuilt by the owner of the house without the intervention of insurance, it would take a very long time to rebuild. So insurance has value. And many people sometimes when you talk to them about insurance, they say, but they give, they never receive. That is not so. What you do, you passing on your risk, a risk that you cannot bear that risk on your own. And we own many things in our lives. You own a car, you own a house, you own a pen, a pair of shoes.
Mhm.
You wouldn't bother you wouldn't bother insure your pair of shoes, because if somebody steals the shoes or they fall apart, you'll replace because the cost is not burdensome.
Right.
If you have a pen, you drop your pen anywhere, you wouldn't bother insure.
Mhm.
But you have your car. Your car costs, well, for St. Lucia is $100,000, $50,000. It's a lot of money. So if you were to get into an accident, you want to be able to replace that car, especially if you have a loan with a bank.
Mhm.
You want to ensure that your car can be paid for and that you can replace the car. But you see, many people will insure their homes, they
Mhm.
will insure the tangible things, but they have no life insurance for the protection of their families, and they have no retirement plan. And I always say that if we could wear our retirement plan on our heads as a crown, or on our sleeves, or on our wrist like a watch, we would get them. But the fact that you buy an insurance plan and nobody sees it, we ascribe very little value to it. And one of my concerns, Martin, is that as I speak to people my age, older, a little younger, I recognize that these people have put nothing in place for their retirement. Retirement is bound to come. You can decide when to retire. I mean, I know you want to work up to age 99, but that should not stop you from putting something aside for your retirement. All of us are not investors that we get to a point where you sit back and watch your money grow, So whilst you work, and from a very tender age, I always advise young people, if you start planning for your retirement early, it becomes less onerous.
Mhm.
Because if you're 20 and you're planning for your retirement, let's say you can put $200 aside. But if you're already 45, you may have to put $500 aside. And if you're starting at that point, it may become burdensome for you, because we know, I mean, the salaries are not, you know, limitless.
Right, right.
So the earlier you start, the better. And when you have made that commitment, any other commitment that you make subsequent to planning for, and not just retirement, anything you plan to have, because you can have a family, you can be the sole breadwinner or the main income owner. You want to know, should something happen to you, that your family standard of living does not plummet, because you have made adequate provision to provide a buffer for them. You know, so we don't have those conversations very often. We will insure the home, because if it goes up in flames or a hurricane comes, I want to build my home back. I want to replace my car. But what about protection for your family? What about your retirement plan? What about income protection? That if you can no longer work due to illness, that you know you have money in place to take care of your bills. Because if you become ill and you can no longer work, the bank will not say, okay, he's sick, Martin is not well, so let us just write off his mortgage. No, they still want to get paid, and they will still repossess your home if you cannot pay. And, you know, this is the type of education that I would like to, you know, leave in the public domain, so that people can recognize the value of having insurance, whatever type of insurance it is. Whenever you have a risk that becomes too burdensome for you, you can pass it on to an insurance company through a plan, and you pay a fee for it.
As a matter of fact,
so I'm happy I'm in this.
That's good. As a matter of fact, on my show about 3-4 weeks ago, I had a gentleman named Michael McNeil, and his specialty was afterlife needs. People never talk about death. They never. No. We all gonna meet our maker one day. We all gonna be there. But are we? Yeah. Are we prepared? Like you said, are we prepared? Do we have? Yeah. He says, I think it's called pre-needs. Pre-needs.
Yep.
Call it pre-needs. Burial insurance. How do you want to be buried? How do you want to what's there for your family to, you know? Because sometimes,
yeah, your final expenses.
That's what he's called Michael McNeil, and he's on my show. He, you know.
Yeah. These are your final expenses, and it's good that people can prepare, because death is inevitable.
Right.
It is inevitable. Yeah. So if you think you cannot plan for it and it will not come, it will still come.
Yeah. So he was focused specifically on that. It would be interesting to check him out, Michael McNeil, on there. Talk about pre-needs. That was his main focus. That's what he does. And what he does, the concept, he and his partner, they own the company, small company, but they go to all funeral homes and they liaison with funeral homes. Okay. And they get, because when people die and they go to a funeral, they usually go to the same funeral home that the whole family has been to. So the funeral homes have a list of people, of families.
Yes.
Work with these families who in the database of the funeral homes, okay, to sell the information, and everybody benefits. He benefits, the home benefits,
the families benefit, yeah.
Families benefit. So he was, again, my talks are so varied. I have people from everything, from pre-needs to Mary Polius. He is a PhD in cybersecurity, a friend of mine. And so I've got a guy who was a medical Qigong healer, you know, with his eyes. He looks through your eyes and he can heal you. Medical Qigong. I mean, I've had such wide ranging people on my show. My friend, Dr. Carlos Garcia. And I'm giving plugs to all of these guys because they came on my show, you know, friend of mine, all friends, but yet still all business people in their own right. Everybody has their specialty. And I'm giving value to them, they're giving value back to me. So I learned a lot from Sajiko. You know, if I was home, I'd probably call you up and say, hey, come right.
And let me tell you, I have my own TV show, it's called Insurance Made Simple.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. I started just about 2 months ago. Yeah, on TV. It's on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. and it's a 1-hour program called Insurance Made Simple, where I attempt to speak to people about the value of insurance, and also to, you know, there are some terms that people are, you know, they hear them, but they're not quite familiar with, you know, the meaning and so on, I do that as well. You know, so information for empowerment, that's what I'm about, you know. And I want you to know that I don't get paid for this. These are all gratis shows, you know.
Exactly. So Choice TV is run by who? Who owns Choice TV?
Choice TV is owned by a gentleman called Wayne Whitfield.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a local guy. I did work with them for some time. They had a component called cable advertising that was part of cable and wireless, where we could have inserted local ads on the networks like CNN, you know, and so on, BT and so on. So I worked with them for a short while. Yep.
That's great, man. Shit. Like I said, you're an extraordinary lady. You're an ordinary person, but doing extraordinary things.
Well, I've been around, Martin.
Doing your part for the planet, for society, for the island that we love, St. Lucia. You know, I always give prop every time I see a commercial for St. Lucia on my Instagram or YouTube channel, not YouTube, or Facebook page, I share it. And everybody says, wow, St. Lucia is beautiful. I get it all the time. You know? I miss it, but like I said, my life is over here. But now that I'm doing what I'm doing, I try to give value back all the time, because the world is small, Mary.
It's very small. That's not when we grew up, you know, that you didn't know what was happening here and there. It's the world is, you know, it's just at our fingertips.
Away, a phone call away, a WhatsApp away, away, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. You know,
somebody sent me a like request on Facebook, and I saw this guy named Michael Baptiste. You know, the black guy. It's a brother, and you know, when somebody sends me a like request, I go on their bio and then their profile, see who he is. I don't just like anybody, you know.
Yeah.
It has to give value in both ways.
Yeah.
And I realize, wow, he wants me to, you know, he just asks for a like, and he thinks like me. There's no box for him. And he empowers people to live a life on the internet, virtual internet marketing. And it's like intriguing to me because I'm working on that right now.
Yeah.
How to live a life. I can live anywhere in the world and still run my business.
Yeah.
The world has changed. Everybody's online right now. You know? And so we talked. So we talked to it was like midnight, 12:30 in the morning at my time.
Yeah.
So I texted him. He was saying he was from Miami. He grew up from a very poor family. His mother was on drugs. His dad was in jail. And he's giving me all this back. He said, but you know what? I refuse to let myself stay in that chasm. I went to university. He said, like you, Matt Martin, I was an athlete. I played basketball. I got a scholarship. I went to a university for 4 years. I was getting ready to go to the pros. Then I hurt my knees. I had both of my knees, so that killed my NBA career. But that still didn't stop me. So all of these things reminded me of the knockdowns that you get in life and how you lift yourself back up. So I said to him, so are you still in Miami right now? Where are you right now? He said, man, I'm in Thailand. I said, in Thailand. I said, what time is in Thailand? It was exactly 12:30 in Thailand. It was 12 hours away.
Difference.
Yes, can you imagine? And when we talking like it was in Miami, like Miami's 4 hours away from I'm in Tampa.
Yeah.
That's how the world is. And we connect. Yeah. He's going to come in the think tank probably next week. I mean, how life happens that far away, but we're so close.
So close, yes. Through technology.
He was in Thailand, 12 hours away. I'm here, I'm 12:30 in the morning, and he's 12:30 midday over there, and we communicating. Like absolutely amazing. But anyway, Mary, we can go on and on and on and on, but I just wanted to give value to you. And so you got Sachiko, you have your own TV shows on Choice TV. So tell me again, on Choice TV, what time is Dimwe? What time does Dimwe come on?
Dimwe is every Saturday at 6:30 p.m., 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
I'm gonna log in 6:30 on Saturdays, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Okay.
It's on Facebook Live. You can streaming.
That's also okay. And the other show is what?
It is called Insurance Made Simple.
Okay.
It's on UTV 1 to 4. It's also on Facebook. You can follow it.
Okay. UTV is a local channel at home too?
Yeah, that's a local channel. UTV 1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. And it's at 3 p.m. on Wednesdays. 3 p.m.
At 3. So everybody knows Wednesday at 3. Yeah, I'm gonna check you out, man. I'm gonna see how good you are with this reporting thing. You know what I'm saying? But you are pro. You're used to the camera, used to the TV, and me being a
Yeah.
speaker, I don't have a problem. I've spoken to 1,500 people, 2,000 people. I don't have a problem through Toastmasters again. My confidence,
But but
you know.
but Martin, you wouldn't imagine, as a young person, I was very, very bashful.
Are you
I
kidding?
still have reservations, you know. Honestly, I'm very bashful. My mother would complain about me being so reserved and, and I don't know. I think getting on TV to do the weather did it for me.
Mm-hmm,
Um, when I started, I mean, I was nervous,
mm-hmm.
but with time, and then I got into politics, I had to be on the platform, and I knew I was shy, but not shy enough to get in the way of me doing the things that I wanted to do.
Right, right,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But you've done well. You've taken your life and you've said, "This is my life. This is
Yeah, this is my life, you know?
how the youth to know.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be easy. I work 15, 16 hours some days, and I enjoy every single day.
that's
This is
right.
what I did last night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I created my first ebook. How about that?
Mm, okay.
First ebook called Internet Marketing. I created
Uh-huh.
everything. I put the cover page. I did it all myself. I didn't go to flat to Fiverr or nowhere. I did it myself. Because I learned the process. The process is simple. You have to learn. You gotta do it.
Excellent.
Exactly.
You know what, Martin? We need more young people to listen to you. I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel like you have become extinct, but but the thing is, we have a lot of young people who need to know that times are changing, especially now, and there are a lot of online opportunities. People can learn so much online, but you see, we have a lot of young people who still believe that they get an education and apply for a job, and and sometimes the job is substandard, because we have so many people who are qualified. We have a very small economy.
Right?
People can earn a living being online,
Yes.
and that's the way to go. And you can earn additional income by being online, you know?
The whole premise when I talk to young people in the States here, I tell them I spoke to a Catholic group about 3 months ago. The gentleman found me on LinkedIn, and because I'm big on LinkedIn, because I mass market Martin Spencer Speaks everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Mhm.
Martin Spencer Speaks. That's how I brand myself. And he
Yeah,
and he invited me to a forum they were having about men who had lost their wives, men who had lost jobs, who wanted to commit suicide. They were all disenfranchised men. My mission to them was, there's nothing like the self-made man. I did some research on there's nothing like a self-made man. Everybody, including me, got help along the way. I,
yeah,
yeah, I have my own little, thing, but I have a lot of people who still help me because I'm a big networker. I reach out and I give back. I help you, you help me. If I have some information, man, I'll just send it to you. Hey, Mary, check this out. Once they can lift you up, and that's what we do for agents. So I said to them, get a group, 3 or 4 buddies, and when you're marketing for jobs, you go this way, you go, and then at the end of the day, this guy may say they had 4 openings over here, and one
yeah.
of the guys said to me, there were 2 openings. He brought his buddy in. They both got jobs. So think outside the box. Don't think about
Box.
you. Exactly. There's nothing like the self-made man. You bring your brother up, man.
Yeah,
I just never think of a job. Period. That's not my mindset. Even now, I mean, I don't think of a job. No, I can figure it out. Figure it out. Everything in my life, I figured it out. So I'm happy to hear you say that. Hey, we want to empower the youth. If anything, anywhere we can collaborate, if I can collaborate with you, anything that you're doing over here, I'm
yep,
only a text away, a phone call away, a WhatsApp away.
yep. Thank you for making yourself available.
Let's do our part.
Yep.
Heal the world. Love is the answer, man. You lift the
Yeah.
youth are the answer. They are,
Yep.
but they have to know that they can do it. You don't have to go out there and look for a job. You figure it out. I got a young man I spoke to. I got to interview him again. He's into Forex, he's into Bitcoin in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Deanne introduced me. I forgot his name, but he's big into Bitcoin.
Yep.
I even joined his protocol, like $25 every 2 weeks. To just, because a Bitcoin is like $18,000 now. I can't buy one.
You got, yeah.
The fraction, you can buy a fraction of a coin.
Of a bit, yeah, because the people who bought early, they have become millionaires.
And Bitcoin was $60.
Yeah.
Now 18,000 is going, it has its up and down, but it's still the highest performing industry or asset that you could have invested in. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
nothing.
I just read an article earlier on Bitcoin and its value.
Yes, you know.
Yeah.
So I do a little Bitcoin. Oh, tell me about your before we go, tell me about your forex, man. You forgot about your forex.
Okay, Martin, 2 years ago, I was introduced to that platform, Forex. I knew nothing of Forex. I mean, I know foreign exchange, but I never knew about Forex trading. So a co-worker introduced me. There is a platform called I Am Academy. You can, I mean, you pay, there's a monthly subscription, and you have so many educators. You can get all the education you want with Forex. I mean, you can choose your educators, because Forex traders don't all like the same method of trading. You have scalpers, you have swing traders, you have intraday traders, you have all types of traders.
Right.
And it's only after time, after you have become accustomed to trading, that you realize what's best suited for your personality. I am a scalper. I know. I like to get in and out of the market quickly. You know, I love scalping, you know. So what I have done is to choose the educators that focus on scalping. I do a bit of intraday trading as well, but my main thing is to make my money, close, and, you know, live to see another day. And I am enjoying this, and I have to make more time. I have to structure my day, because, you know, the day will always have 24 hours. I just have to structure my day. But I have come a very long way from not knowing anything, and I'm excited about it. And, you know, I talk to young people about it. But, you know, Martin, there's one thing that I don't appreciate. People do not like to invest in their education. Your education builds you up. It's for you. Nobody can take that away from you. And I tell young people, if you learn to trade and you do it well, this is income that you can have for the rest of your life. Right. You know, because as I told you, sometimes when things look scruffy, I go to my account and I send some money to my my bank account or to my card, you know. And if I didn't learn that skill, that money would not be there. Right. You know. So I mean, the Forex, that's a $5.3 trillion a day market. Yep. $5.3 trillion a day. So there's enough for me and you and everybody else.
Yes, that's right.
And I absolutely love the idea that I was introduced to it. After, this is almost my 3rd year, and I'm still subscribing and paying my monthly subscription, because I find that the information available on that platform, the education, is just invaluable.
The value, you get value. You get value. I love value.
Yeah. You know? Yes. Yeah. We like to look at what we pay instead of what we're earning, what we're gaining, you know?
Yeah, because I'm into right now. I'm into mass marketing. I'm into internet marketing big time. So I need Russell Brunson, right? Russell Brunson is the premier internet marketer in the world right now. He makes $100 million a year.
No.
Internet marketing.
Yeah.
A group called ClickFunnels. He has Click. Last year, about a year and a half ago, I went to Miami to a conference named the 10X Mindset by Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a master mindset thinker. I only associate if
yes, I'm familiar with that name.
Grant Cardone, right?
Yeah.
He is a master marketer. So anyway, Grant thinks if you have a concept and you want to accomplish something in, let's say, oh, I have a 1-year plan. Why can't you do it in 90 days? Yeah. Why can't you just 10x the thinking, 10x the mindset, just 10x. That's what you do. You 10x your effort. Instead of sitting down, I haven't watched Netflix. I have Netflix. I pay for it. I haven't watched that in almost 2 years. Okay, I don't watch nothing, but I want to know what's going on in the world. I watch the world news at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and that's I watch CNN a little bit every now and then. I have it on a small computer, small TV I have while I'm working. I don't just sit there and I can't do it. My whole life.
Neither do I. Neither do I. In fact, I cut my cable 4 years now, and I watch everything on my phone or my iPad. On the news that I get on my phone or on my iPad. That's it. I have no time to watch Netflix and movies, and that's valuable time that you can be engaging in something that is beneficial to you.
You gotta stop everything to watch is track and field, because I'm grew up, that gave me a college education, gave me a good education. That's my life. This is a little piece of my life that I enjoyed, that's been good to me, and I give back. When I was home, actually, when I was home in 94, 95, I was instrumental in, you know, the Monstars track team, the one.
Yeah, yes. Uh-huh.
I coached these kids for 5 years out of my pocket. We used to go to meets in Dominica, to Trinidad, Barbados. I would take 3 or 4 of the best kids and travel and pay for it on my. I don't talk about what I do, but I've given back, and so, and I enjoy it. And these kids, I look at them now. They're all over the world, and they're always, hey coach, hey coach, hey coach. I'm not coaching anymore, but it's still. I gave back when they were 12, 13, and 14. You know, they're still on my Facebook page. Mandela Clifford, Fabian Felix, Leander Ernest. I can tell you all these names were in one star. We were tough, you know. We used to compete against Twatine and his little crew. You know Twatine?
Yes, I know Twatine.
Because I know my boys, man. You know, Magua, who was president of the AAA at one time.
Yeah.
You know my boys, man. You know. Before I go, I must ask you, what's happened with Jugwa? Jugwa had a patois station. And one time,
Jugwa doesn't have a patois station, but he has a patois program.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he has a patois program. I haven't listened to him in years, and I have my reasons, which I may not want to disclose.
But I'm just.
But he's still there, and still quite influential. You know, still quite influential. Yeah. I know he has a very good audience, you know, he has always had from way back. He has moved from station to station, and his listeners just follow him wherever he goes, you know. They love his semantics, you know, so they follow him. Yeah.
Political henchman, right? I just want to drop, he's still there, okay? Because I remember his shows, you know, and he was very exciting, and the way he had his little, the way he presented himself, it was always funny. He'd laugh and laugh.
He's still on.
Uncontroversial, right?
Yeah, still controversial, yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. But I mean, it's home is home. You know, home is home. You make the best. You've made the best of St. Lucia. You made the best of yourself, and I'm so proud of you. You know that we all aspire to greatness. But like I said, we can go on and on and on and on. We've been about almost an hour now. Just about. Time flies. Time flies so much, you know. But I do my own editing, like I said, you know, there's nothing to edit in here, but you'll see the final product because I have my intro.
Yeah, but I have to say one thing before I leave. I have a daughter, Martin. I have a daughter. She's 38. I'm very proud of her. Wow. She lives in Michigan. Yeah, she lives in Michigan in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
She is just, she's just writing for her PhD in geochemistry.
You kidding me? Wow. You are so proud.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of my daughter. I always have to give her mention because she gave me the name for my program, Dimwe, you know?
Okay.
When I called my daughter and I said, I'm having a program on TV and I'm looking for a name, and she just said Dimwe, like she was waiting for me to call her, you know? And she said Dimwe. So I said, what's that? She said, but mommy, when they call you, you say Dimwe, you know? And that was it, you know.
It's called resonance. Okay. When I was starting my show, I wrote down a bunch of names, like 30, 40 names, and the word quantum. I love quantum. Quantum is massive, big. You know the quantum. I said I want to be quantum. I want something quantum. Quantum this, quantum that, and I kept going all these names. Something quantum this, and it just wasn't resonating. One day I woke up. It says in the think tank with Martin Spencer. Wow, that's it. I never changed. That's it. It's called resonate. It has to resonate. And that's the same thing with Dimwe. When you heard it, like, wow, that's it.
Yeah.
Not anymore, right?
So when they call, I just say Dimwe.
Dimwe?
Yeah, tell me.
Yep. That is. Yeah, but actually, if you don't mind, if you talk to your daughter, I'd love to have her in the think tank about an achievement. That is
okay.
So she can communicate with me on WhatsApp. Tell her, not today, tomorrow, whenever you talk to her again. I like it.
She's in Connecticut now. I'll tell her.
It would be great to get to that level from a little island and you get into the PhD. Oh man, that's awesome. I love ordinary people again doing extraordinary things. And she's an extraordinary young lady. She's not young, but she's still young as far as your baby, right?
Yep.
Good, wonderful, wonderful. Well, Mary, it was extraordinary, just like I thought. You're an amazing young lady. You're not old yet. You're still a young lady. Yeah, I still think I'm young. That's right, But I want to thank you for being in the thing. So before we go, anybody wants to get a hold of you for any of your shows, your programs, what you do, what's the best contact for you?
What's the best contact for me?
Yes.
I can give my email address, my telephone number. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook.
Right, there you go. But for your Facebook,
Yeah.
What's your tagline on Facebook? Just Mary Polius?
Just Mary Polius.
Good. And you all across all the mediums, Mary Polius on Think Tank,
yeah.
On LinkedIn. That's why I found.
Yeah, Mary Polius on LinkedIn. Yeah, everywhere I am Mary Polius.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, I saw that. That's how I was able to get up a little bit of bio on you.
Yeah.
But that's great. So Mary Polius, anywhere they want. Now,
yep.
I don't like to put the phone numbers out, but if you want to, it's up to you for
yep.
Life,
Yeah.
You want to put it out there for Surgical Life?
Yeah, you can put my email address too.
Right, I mean, what was the email address?
Mary Polius, my name at gmail.com.
Gmail.com, there you go. So they can easily get a hold of you. Because
yes.
I want to bring value to you. I want to get value to you. I want to get your phone ring and say, hey, I heard you on the Think Tank, man. Mary, that's what's up.
Yeah.
But like I always tell people, go to my channel, subscribe, like and share, and we do the same. So when I'll probably post this interview next Monday, not this Monday, the following Monday. I'll promo it throughout the whole week. I'll put tags on there, posters out there on LinkedIn, say coming next in the Think Tank, Mary Polius, and I just put a description. So I highlight you first for a week, then I put it out there through LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. So the world. I'm in Dubai, I'm in New Zealand, I'm all over. So it goes worldwide. Okay.
Well, Martin, I want to thank you for this great opportunity. I hope it's the beginning of a lot of good things to come. And thanks again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I really, like I said, I saw you years ago talking about the upper level trough, and I never forgot I never forgot it. But it was great. That means you left an impression on people, a lot of people, because they love you because you told the truth. And now you are, what I like here, you're an advocate for change. And that's what I remember most of all. We talk about you an advocate for change because you want to help the youth, want to help people understand they have what it takes. They don't have to rely on a job, rely on a government, rely on a president, a prime minister, or anybody to take your life to the next level. That's what I tell people. I don't care who is president. Barack Obama was president.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I didn't change my life. I changed my life. Okay?
Yep.
So anyway, but thank you again. Have a great week. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being in the Think Tank. And don't tell everybody, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I will indeed. Yes.
Share it on. Share it when you get it as far as you go. And we'll be talking soon. Okay?
Okay. All the best.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The world as we know it has changed forever. We have to unite more than ever. It has never been easier to connect. Social media is the great equalizer. As we continue to learn from each other, it allows us to challenge our beliefs